up, guys? Yeah, we got another Oktoberfest beer coming at you today. With this one, we're going with Warsteiner. It has been a long time since I had one of their standard beers, but I found their Oktoberfest, so I'm going to give it a crack. I am starting to really run out of these things, so we'll see. Next week might be the last, maybe full week, because I got 3 left in stock, and maybe I won't get any more. I'm kind of surprised I haven't gotten more, but you know, I guess, I don't know, maybe they're just not ordering many around here. I feel like the pumpkin beers are kind of taking up a lot of the valuable Oktoberfest shelf space, but I don't know. Anyways, got it poured. It is very crystal clear, little head, but anyways, let's get into the review. And just FYI, it is 5.9% ABV, which is right in that kind of sweet spot for Oktoberfest. But anyways, let's get into the review, get into the smell. It definitely has more of that funk aroma, kind of like a Heineken or, you know, an Elephant, Carlsberg kind of thing. It's got that kind of lagery, pilsnery, or more of the pilsnery kind of funk that you might get in one of those kinds of beers. And let's be honest, the color is lighter. It really kind of looks more like a, you know, Western European Pilsner more than anything else. But it still does have a bit of that nutty raisin in there. You're getting some of the grain kind of, it's almost like a corn kind of thing. It definitely smells more like a kind of a slightly darker Pilsner. I'm starting to get a bit of that maltiness. Not a lot though. There's some there, but I feel like it's kind of overwhelmed with the other aromas. And I'll admit, funkiness is not something I really get into. That's just not something I'm a huge fan of. That's me personally. The funk isn't so overwhelming where as soon as you crack it open, you just like, oh, you know, I could kind of smell it when you just have that, I don't know, crack it open, you pour it, and that was the first kind of thing that I really smelled. So I'm going to give it a half on aroma. It's not my favorite, but just putting it out there. So, all right, let's keep going and get into the taste. That tastes 100% different than what I was expecting. Much different from what I was expecting. I was expecting more of that pilsnery kind of funk taste. Not at all. I don't know where that smell came from. It's like I would not peg that smell with this beer. This very much has a bit of like toasted malt in there. There's a little bit of raisin. Oh yeah, definitely some toasted malt. Maybe not much raisin actually. Maybe more of I don't even know if I'm getting any raisin now. There's more of like a nuttiness to it. It is There is a hint of funk, a little bit. There is a hint of that kind of grainy funk that you will get from a Pilsner, but it doesn't really have that Pilsner taste to it. They just kind of took the essence, a little bit of the funk, and added it in. But yes, I will admit, it was, after going off the smell, I thought I was going to get something totally different. And so I'm actually relatively surprised and thankfully surprised at the taste. But it does kind of have elements of more of a Pilsner than a lot of the Oktoberfest beers. It's almost kind of a nutty, roasted, malty, Pilsnery version of an Oktoberfest. Which, that might be totally up your alley, or that might sound, terrible. But it has a nice, crisp taste to it. It was relatively refreshing. It's got a decent amount of maltiness without being so overwhelming. And as you can see, it didn't pour thick. I've had others that pour very thick. This is not that. The head clings nicely to the glass. There is a bit of kind of just an alcohol taste. Just kind of alcohol. It's a little more pronounced in this than some of the others. But all in all, it is something that I was relatively surprised at how it tasted based on the way it smelled. One more sip. So okay, based on how my initial impression with the smell, it's much better than I thought it was going to be. But there's that there's almost that lingering kind of just alcohol taste. It's not very strong, but it's just I don't really. There's something about it that's kind of just not really clicking. With that, and I'm not sure what it is. I think for taste, I'm gonna give it a half again. It's better than I thought, but there's something there that that's just kind of not, connecting with me. And so I'm gonna give it a half on that. Next category is value for price, and absolutely this German import is actually the cheapest Oktoberfest beer I've purchased thus far. I believe I got it for $1.50, which is cheaper than any Sam Adams beer, any Leinenkugel, any craft beer, anything in the area. Nothing has been cheaper than this. This is the cheapest one I've found. So if you just want something that has the nice, I'll give it. It's got the nice, table dressing, the blue and white thing. I just like it. I think it looks nice with this kind of gold thing. It's a nice looking. I feel like this is a beer you'd be drinking at a baby shower for if someone's having a boy. Because everything's kind of lighter. It's got the nice, sky blue. It's so if you go into a baby shower, this is the labeling is perfect for that. This special edition Oktoberfest. So yes, I absolutely will recommend it on value for price, and just I like this glass too. I like the way it holds, because it's a little slender in the grip area and then kind of fattens out at the base and at the bottom. There's just something about it that just it feels nice to hold. Not that yeah. Packaging. So if I had a category for packaging, yes. Good job. All right, next category is distinction, and because it has that almost Pilsnery thing, because it has a little bit of that funky smell to it, it is different from a lot of the Oktoberfest beers I've had. But it still has that kind of roasted maltiness of an Oktoberfest. So it kind of, for some people, I think you'll really like this. And it is distinct. It is different from a lot of the other Oktoberfest beers. So yes, I will recommend it for distinction. It's got enough, differences going on to make it be I can see some people being yes, this is my go-to. It's pretty easy to drink. it's got that, you know, Pilsnery thing that I like, but it's still kind of Oktoberfest. So yes, I'm gonna recommend it on distinction. I think it'll check off the boxes of certain beer drinkers. Next category is drinkability, and you know, for 5.9%, it definitely drinks pretty well. I feel like every sip I have, I'm almost getting something different. Like that sip was more of the roasted malt, which was actually a very nice level of roasted malt. It wasn't too over the top, and it wasn't like so plunged deep down that you couldn't taste it. I think it was nice. And then some sips I get more of that kind of like alcohol taste. But it is very easy to, pretty easy to drink at 5.9%, even with the roasted malt, which for me kind of slows me down. I think it drinks pretty well, so I will recommend it on drinkability. Last category is would I buy it again? I might. I have a lot of people that are like having babies this month. Of course, they're like 8 billion miles away. But if I was there, I'd totally bring this just because I feel like it's just the lighter colors make it seem something like that. But price-wise, you can't beat it. Nothing has beat it yet. So it's got that going for it. But for like a quarter more per beer, I get some Paulaners that I like taste-wise, just much better. And I think there's some American micros that I'd probably go for above this. I'm not saying that I wouldn't ever get it again. It fits a specific void, but it would be the first thing I'd reach for. So I'm gonna give it another half. This is kind of a run-of-the-mill, down the middle kind of beer. But you've had a Warsteiner before. That's kind of what it is for German beer. It's not setting anything on fire with how amazing it is, but it's also not the worst thing. You could do worse. So that is my review of the Warsteiner Oktoberfest. What do you think? Have you had it before? Let me know in the comments. And also, like, some other people were commenting that there's other Oktoberfest beers that they've had in the past that they are just not finding anymore. Like somebody said that they were really into Beck's Oktoberfest beer, but they can't find it anymore. Have you found that? Have you found that there's some like old Oktober or just some classic Oktoberfest beers that you like that just not popping around anymore? I'm blaming the pumpkin beers. They're popular, and because they come out around the same time as Oktoberfest beers, they take up a lot of the shelf space. Because I think I could probably get twice as many pumpkin beers as Oktoberfest beers right now. Which, I get. It's only has so much shelf space, but that is a different rant for a different day. But do you have some favorites that you just haven't found lately? Let me know. And again, I'm going to keep doing these as much as possible. I'm really starting to run out. But yeah, that's it. So like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And so for myself and for Warsteiner Oktoberfest, take it easy.